Welcome back, dear students, for another class of Ulysses, the poem that we have been continuing. And yesterday uh, I gave you a little bit background about the poem, and we stopped where we discussed about what exactly Ulysses is doing and what kind of adventures he longs and yearns for. Now let's continue with the rest of the poem, where he says, I will drink life to the lees. We stopped here where he said that I cannot rest from travel, I will drink life to the lees. So it was clear, I hope, that he's saying that he doesn't want to live a passive life full of inactivity. He wants to enjoy life to the best, to the brim. And then he says, all times I have enjoyed, I have gone through things, I have had a great time, and I have also suffered and also I have enjoyed. So here he wants to say that all times I have enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone, on shore and when through scudding drifts the rainy heights vex the dim sea. So, what kind of an idea we get here when he's saying, Ulysses, that all times I have enjoyed greatly. Most of the time when he has been on his adventures in life, he had made the most of the life that he has spent. But on the other hand, he also says that he has suffered greatly, both with those that loved me. Suffered means gone through ups and downs, both with those that loved me and alone on shore, and when through the scudding drifts the rainy heights vex the dim seas. He says that I have enjoyed my life, I have gone through my ups and downs, both with those people who had been by my side, and even when I have been alone, living my own life and enjoying the journey. So on shore means whether he has been on the ship or on the land. And he says, when through scudding drifts, scudding drift refers to the broken clouds lying before the winds. And he says the rainy heights. Now here is reference, heights means a group of 7 stars, because their rising and the falling depends upon the showers of rain. So here he is talking about that how these clouds, the broken clouds lying before the winds, and this group of 7 stars, that's heights, they agitate with the stormy showers and they make this sea dark. As you already know that the storms and the clouds, they play a major role in agitating the waves of the sea, which seems quite dull, silent, dim, and soon with the effect of the clouds they become vexed, that is agitated. So this is an example he is giving here. Then he continues by saying that I am become a name for always roaming with a hungry heart. Again, this is a very significant line, because this verse, in fact, exhibits a kind of a very ardent attitude, a very stern attitude of Ulysses when he says, I am become a name. Become a name means famous. It's a phrase which means that people know her. He is well known around the world because he's famous. And what he's famous for? For always roaming with a hungry heart. So he says that people know me, I am famous just because I have a deep, inherent, inborn desire in my heart for knowledge. Hungry heart here means for knowledge and experience. And what happens when you always have this hunger for learning new things, for seeing the world through your own eyes, for different kinds of adventures, for different kinds of experiences? You never grow old. You always remain young from the heart, because your heart is hungry. Here, heart is not hungry for food. Hunger is a word, in fact a verb which is connected to food. Of course, when you're hungry you want to have food, but hunger is for so many other things also. So here you have an example, alliteration, hungry heart, and figure of speech, and also that he's saying that his heart is hungry for knowledge and experience. Much have I seen and known, cities of men. Then he continues by saying, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments, myself not least, but honored of them all. So he says that I have seen and known, he says, much, enough of life I have gone through. I have seen many countries, visited very many places, Cities of men means deeply populated cities I have visited. I have seen the manners, etiquettes of people. I have seen various climates, the weathers. I have seen different kinds of councils. Here means the committees, how the different kinds of organizations of people work. He have seen different kinds of governments. How do they work and operate? Myself not least, but honor them also. He says, wherever I have been respected, I have been honored, and I have people have expressed their gratitude towards me by all of them. And drunk delight of battle with my peers. He's saying, and also apart from all this, I have enjoyed the pleasures of war, and also the battle, pleasures and the disadvantages, you can say, or the sufferings of the battle with my peers. Peers means equals, with his equal part. Far on the ringing plains of windy Troy, I am a part of all that I've met. So he's saying that far on the plains of windy Troy, ringing plains is here he is talking about that the way when he went to fight the Trojan War, the Battle of Troy here refers to the Trojan War when he had gone to fight, and he's saying that he has crossed the storms, the various storms, battlefields which are echoing, resounding with the sound of the battle. Everything he has gone through. And he says that the Trojan War experience, he fought as a Greek prince in the Trojan War. And he says that I have gone through all this. So I am a part of all that I have met. So this is again a significant line which indicates that Ulysses is just expressing his position in his own eyes when he says, I am what the experience I have been through. I am a part of all that I met means I am what the experience I have been through. That is, my life I have led according to my own conditions. I am what I am is a result of the various experiences which I have gone through in my life. Yet all experience is an arch, therefore gleams that untravelled world whose margin fades forever and ever when I move. So again now he's saying, see the beautiful example he's mentioning here, that all the experience is an arch. So he says that all the experience is a gateway. Arch is, I think you remember, a round semicircle kind of an entrance. So it's a kind of a gateway. All kind of experiences, they make you enter. Gleams that untraveled world, shines into the world which is untraveled, unknown, whose margin fades, that is, margin means boundaries, whose margin fades forever and ever before I move, when I move. So he says that the more we know the world, the more we become unaware of the unknown. So we are not in a hurry or in any kind of worry that what's going to happen to us now. So here he says that he has gone through all these experiences. He have had enough considerable experiences, and he has gone through which shined him much more, and he could understand also the boundaries, and he would just wish to go back again to such places. So we'll stop here and we'll continue with the poem in the next class. Thank you.